Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Concern Podcast, where we unpack political, social, economic, and cultural stories shaping our world. I'm Emmanuel Taban, and on this section of our podcast, I want us to look at the return of Kenya's former Deputy President, Rigathi Gachagua, where he has been to the United States of America for engagements with Kenyans, and time has come for him to come back to Kenya. He has spent there nearly 2 months, and he announced a week ago that he'll be returning back to Kenya. And just a few days ago, the deputy president of the DCP party, which is Cleopas Malala, made his return public by declaring the date when Rigathi Gachagua will land into Kenya. And the date is this Thursday, this coming Thursday. That is when Rigathi Gachagua will come back to the Republic of Kenya from his nearly 2 months tour in the United States of America. And just yesterday again, Cleophas Malala came out and he confirmed that indeed the president is coming, the deputy president is coming back on Thursday. And on this video, I want us to look at three major things that are going to happen or that might happen possibly after or upon Rigathi's return to Kenya. Now, these are three main things that I feel they're obviously going to happen or they may happen when Rigathi Gachagua returns back to Kenya. Very interesting thing. And the first thing that I believe, that's my opinion, that I believe may happen when Rigathi Gachagua returns back home is that one, we are likely to see a diversion tactics being crafted and planted by some government individuals or people who are allied to the government. What do I mean? You know, the government of Kenya Kwanza is very well versed in diverting Kenyans from one popular story that is taking over the political space in the country to another in a very short time. We have seen this in many occasions where when a story becomes of interest to the people, the government brings in another different story just to divert the attention of people outside. So what I know is that in the next 2 days, the story regarding the return of Rigathi Gachagua is going to be so trending. In the next 1 or 2 days. You would see that it's going to be spoken everywhere on the streets, on national televisions. All the media houses are going to pay attention to Rigathi's return. It's going to be covered and it's going to be live broadcasted. That is what I know. And the government doesn't want that so much attention to be given to Rigathi Gachagua. That's one thing that I've noticed. So, in a way to just dismiss that attention that is going to be much given to Rigathi, what I'm seeing is that the government may craft some diversion tactics by creating some other stories that seems to be of much interest into the minds of the Kenyans. And one thing I always appreciate about the Ruto's regime is that it is the first government that has actually politically awakened Kenyans. You see that Kenyans discuss issues, politics everywhere and every day, every time, And you find that if any issue surface or emerge within a very short time, it diverts the attention of the whole country. So in a way to prevent so much attention given to Rigathi Gachagua, let's expect that a story is going to be crafted, a very interesting story, very touching story, or very emotive story. Mark my words. A touching or emotive story that would take people's emotions all to it, neglecting the return of Rigathi Gachagua or Riggy G. So in the next few days, one day, let's expect. It might not happen. This is a predictions. Predictions are not necessarily meant to happen, but it might happen as well. So in the next day, expect a very, very emotive or touching story to be created or crafted by the government just to divert the attention of Kenyans from paying their attention to the return of Rigathi Gachagua. This is one of the possible things that might happen. That is one. Secondly, what is going to happen or what might happen possibly is, there's always this belief that when Rigathi was away, the country has been peaceful. I mean, people have been going all about their businesses, and there's no abductions, no protests, no chaos in the country. And they have always said that this is because Rigathi Gachagua has been out of the country, as if when Rigathi was in government, there were no protests, no abduction. Even when Raila was still in the opposition, there were so much protest and demonstration. But there's always this belief that of recent that when Rigathi was away in the country, from the country has been so much peaceful, no protest, no abduction, as if he is the one who has been committing all these crimes. And people have even gone far in saying it's because of his absence, that's why the Harambee Stars are progressing so well in the chan. So there's always this belief that has been created by some government aligned individuals that Rigathi's absence in the country has done more good, that his absence has led to peace, existence of peace in the country. The Harambee Stars are winning, people are moving, businesses are operating, the country is doing well, no people are protesting. So, because of this narrative that has been created, I'm also suspecting that on Rigathi's return, some state-sponsored individuals might craft some chaos in the country just to look like it is Rigathi's return that has brought all this. And people want to create the narrative that, you see, just because he has returned a few days now, we are seeing chaos in the country, we are seeing looting in the country, we are seeing protests in the country. When he was away, the country has been good. So we're likely to see such kind of chaos being planted by government individuals just to tarnish his image, to make him look like he is a person who is sponsoring all these chaos and who wants the country not to live in peace. That is one thing. One thing that is also going to happen: crafting of chaos in the country by some government. It might not necessarily be the president or even some people in the executive, but some members of that are in government but that are so much close to the president. They might create all these narratives just to make Rigathi Gachagua look like he is a chaotic man, someone who likes violence. We're likely going to see this happen. One, as I said, we're likely to see a diversion tactics, a story differently created to divert the attention of Kenyans from attending to Rigathi Gachagua's return. The government never want much attention to be given to Rigathi Gachagua. It's going to make DCP so popular. It's going to make Rigathi Gachagua so popular in the country. And we might see possibly a story created, an emotive story that might even involve abduction of one person or even killing of someone, just an emotive story to take out their attention. That is one, what I've seen. Second of all, as I said, that we are likely to see some crafted chaos or violence in the country just to tarnish Rigathi Gachagua's image, so that it makes him look like it is his return that has brought all this problem. Okay. And also, the next thing that I feel it's going to happen is that it's regarding the involvement of Rigathi Gachagua or the DCP party in the forthcoming by-elections. These coming by-elections are going to be a litmus test for the DCP party and Rigathi Gachagua. If DCP wins 2 seats or even 1 seat out of all these seats, out of all these ones in the by-election, if they manage to take only 2 or 1 seat after Rigathi's return, we are likely to see a mass exodus of individuals from other political parties to DCP before 2027. And this is after Rigathi. And one thing is that Rigathi's visit to the US is very strategic. It is very strategic in a way that he has done it at a time when the country is heading towards by-elections, and probably he has gone to mobilize for more resources. His coming back is going to give candidates who are going to vie on DCP ticket a very high advantage. They don't need so much resources to go on the ground campaigning, because Rigadi already has mobilized resources. So probably DCP will have one of the best run campaigns in the by-election because they have the resources. I mean, if we are to rank right now, DCP could be the third financially established political party after maybe UDA and ODM right now. So um, when Rigadi returns, we're likely to see an exodus of individuals from other political parties to DCP, especially those who are from Central and Western. So much influx into DCP, and this is going to be tested in the by-election. So if Riggy G or DCP does well in the by-elections, then we are about to see um, a massive exodus of individuals from other parties to the DCP political party. So these are mainly three things that I feel that are going to happen upon Rigathi Gachagua's return. One, as I summarize, is that we're likely to see a diversion tactic being created by the government just to take or divert the attention of Kenyans from attending to Rigathi Gachagua's return. Second of all, we are about to see a crafted violence by some individuals allied to President Ruto to make Rigathi Gachagua looks like he is the one behind it, and that when he was away, the country was enjoying peace, but on his return, the country is now in violence. And the third one is that we're likely also to see an exodus of individuals from other political parties into DCP, and this is going to be determined by how DCP is going to perform in these by-elections. So these are mainly three things that I feel are going to happen upon Rigathi Gachagua's return. Again, thank you so much. If this is your first time watching our videos, please don't forget to subscribe and leave your comment or like, and this will help us grow on this channel. And thanks again. I remain Emmanuel Taban. Until next time, this is my name, and this remains the Concern Podcast, where we unpack political, social, and economic stories that shapes our communities and shapes our world. Thank you.